Hello there, how are you doing? My name is Daniela, welcome to my channel. We are playing Dragon Age Inquisition. We've done a lot already. I'm trying to get as many videos as possible before college starts, before everything else starts actually. Um, and also as why not? To be unstressed after work. Why not? Um, So we already recruited the mages, yeah. I also showed you the path, or not the path actually. The if you choose the actual Templars, what it's going to be is a little bit longer than the mages, but the mages had something else before, so it's kind of even out. I don't know how many videos I have already. We already done everything we could in 3 different maps, in Hinterlands, in the Falomaya, and in the Storm Coast. So I'm trying to do now is see if they can see something or say something after that we recruited the mages. So, and I already sell all the stuff and put things in the on them. So we have some thousand here. So we have 53 spaces still. Maybe I need to buy something. Just a perk.
There was never going to be an easy answer to the mage dilemma. What you did for the mages took courage. You gave them a chance. Everyone deserves one.
Thank you, Blackwall. That's amazing. Here I still have the save file of the Templars, just for me to play later on my own after this. Um, so maybe I will choose the other outcomes just to have a reference of what it's going to be, because I tend to do the same thing over and over again because I like how it could be. It's more movie-like, or it's more like that, and this game actually it has tons of these things that you need to choose one or the other. And actually, when you choose the Templars or the Mages, they also give you the chance to make them part of the Inquisition as prisoners or whatever, or join as an ally. So there is always 2 things that you need to choose, or maybe 3. So that makes a lot of interesting, because what if I chose next time to be our prisoners? Which ones will like it? Which ones will not like it? These sort of things, you need to make sure that you need to have the relationship up in case of they start questioning you, um, or you decrease the relationships. You don't have an actual amount or number of how much they like you or not. So the only thing is that they start having other things, and the cards they are shown when you choose them, they change. We haven't seen that yet, but they do that. They change.
Something on your mind?
Thoughts on the Inquisition?
What
Something.
do you think of the Inquisition?
You already know what I think of your forces. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
sure what else there is to say.
Investigate something else? No. Okay. That's enough
We
talk.
should return.
Thank you.
As you will.
Okay. Basically, they will say something about it.
Smithing is hard work.
There's Iron Ball.
So, that Tevinter guy sent you into the future?
I protect you. We're right. It was incredible. Timid the magic does go far. It was incredible. I'll protect you. Huh. It was incredible.
The things magic can do are
Oh,
fascinating.
sorry. He didn't like it.
Anyway, I hope our new friends have what it takes to...
Well, I don't want him to disapprove because he already disapproved. And yeah, I don't want him to disapprove us. I'm sorry, I will just choose the weird, right? Oh, the other one. Yeah, he doesn't like the
So,
mages.
that Tevinter guy sent you in...
The Venta magic goes too far.
I've got no problem
Yeah.
with normal magic, but Tevinter goes beyond all reason.
I know, right? The Vints are always pushing. Anyway, I hope our new friends have what it takes to close the breach. Damn thing gives me a headache just looking at it.
Something else? No.
What can I do for you?
Goodbye.
See you later, Bull.
See ya.
Sometimes you start talking with someone and someone else disagrees. So, uh-oh, we have a fight here.
And what are we supposed to do, exactly?
What you always do. Complain.
We've already spoken with Commander Cullen. No one listens. We want better quarters. We want the Templars kept at a distance. And some respect for...
This is not the Circle. You mages are our allies, not our wards. Act like it.
How are we supposed to...
Deal with it. It never ends, evidently.
Is that a problem?
Is there an issue with the mages? Can I help?
The mages are here as equals. They need to get used to what that means. It is your doing, after all. You created this alliance.
I hope it will work out.
Well, I hope it works. What other choice do we have?
Oh. I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't disapprove. In fact, you did well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
You got us here.
We wouldn't be here at all if you hadn't stood up against the Chantry.
You're being kind.
You're discounting your role in this.
Let's close the breach. Then we can say how successful I was.
Okay, no alterations. Okay. It's fine. If you... Where is she? Okay. Is something else?
Yes?
Goodbye.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Cullen? My love? I'm sorry.
The mages are ready to approach the breach. I pray this will be enough to close it.
Give the mages a chance.
I know you're worried about having the mages here. Give them a chance to prove themselves.
I'm not questioning their ability or their intentions, but we cannot ignore the risks. I will not endanger the alliance you've created. We need their help. Any precautions taken will be to ensure the safety of our people and the mages themselves. Nothing more.
That's all. That's all.
That's all for now.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Oh, I should have asked
Yes?
something else. Anything I should know.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
Okay. Now it is.
That's all.
Who else is in here? What is on the list that we need to talk to? No one else here? Backwall, Kalena, Ironball, Barrick. Dorian. Oh, we never talked to Dorian, actually.
You can spare will help the wounded.
Barrick. Come on, Barrick. I know something funny.
The Mage Rebellion joins the Inquisition. I've got to admit that's a twist I didn't see coming. One thing you saw in the future worries me. I mean, it was all bad. But red lyrium and Ferelden, infecting people and growing out of them, that's bad. Finding more of it really punches a hole in my red lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
How fast does it spread?
How long does it take for red lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
Let's keep hoping. Don't worry.
The Inquisition has the numbers to track down all this lyrium and destroy it.
I hope so. I don't want to think about what happens if it starts a plague. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
Have a party. Couldn't remember then what's next. Anything but celebrate.
That's a good point. We should celebrate. A banquet. Something like a banquet.
Word to Josephine, and I bet she could arrange anything. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it. If the world's about to end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, Varric is all about fun stuff. Okay, come back here.
Need something?
Let's see. Something else.
That's a pretty common reaction.
Never mind.
Need something?
Have a personal question.
You want to talk about
No.
me?
Yeah,
Need something?
tell me.
I want...
I'll tell you what I
Okay,
do.
nothing else. Maybe it had a new something. What is this there here? It never was there before. Open. I don't want to listen to the person that sings. Can I fire her?
Well, that's mages all over. So many robes, I bet all of Ferelden lost their curtains. I'll just be the other side of Haven, just in case.
They're here to help us. They're what we need. You don't like mages? Maybe. They're here to help us.
These mages are here to aid the Inquisition. Don't worry.
Sure, don't worry. Magic up there, magic down here. What's to worry about? I mean, yay, freedom. Great for them. Over there, away from me.
Okay. Okay. Carry on.
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
Please stop singing. Solas, you were difficult. Don't take Solas with you if you go to go for the temples.
So we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach. You are certain you experienced time travel. Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fade?
Dorian is certain.
Dorian was sure.
Oh.
Impossible as it seemed.
What an amazing gift. It is
I
vital
saw
the
you
Inquisition.
there.
I
Oh,
For
this and
wait a second. I don't like that outcome. So sorry. I hated that. Come here.
so we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach. You are certain you experienced time travel. Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fade?
What would be the point?
you think Alexius made an illusion of his own life going down in flames?
Point taken. What an amazing gift. It is vital the Inquisition succeed to avoid the future you witness.
I saw you there.
I'm surprised you're not more interested in your own future.
I know enough. If that future happened, then I, and Cassandra, Cullen and the rest, failed to stop this Elder One. Speaking of which, You should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again at Redcliffe. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
Point taken. Let's see if there is something else. Come on, say something.
My friend.
Nothing?
We'll
My
talk
friend.
later.
Okay.
Goodbye.
They change the way they speak. Okay, Dorian, I will need to know you.
The Inquisition supports free mages. What's next? Elves running Halamsharal? Cows milking farmers?
I'll think of something.
Give me time. I'm sure I'll surprise you.
I suspect that's untrue. Unless you strip yourself naked and allow the Chantry to flog you into repentance. Now that would surprise me. I do wonder if you've considered what this support of yours will do. For mages in general, I mean. The Inquisition is seen as an authority. You've given southern mages license to, well, be like mages back home.
As long as they're like you. That's so terrible.
If that means they're anything like you, I approve.
Ha! There aren't many mages back home like me.
I'd believe that.
I never fit in. Bloodstains are so difficult to clean, you see.
So we're doomed to a future of blood magic then.
Not at first. But you'd be a fool not to see where this could lead. Thing is, the Imperium was once just like the South. Templars, proper circles, all that rot. Then it changed. By inches. Not that this is reason to oppress us. Still, my homeland should be a cautionary tale, not a source of inspiration.
Investigate. Tell me about yourself.
It occurs to me that I barely know anything about you.
Beyond my being a mage from Tevinter, you mean?
Beyond that, yes.
And beyond my being so charming and well-dressed, which is obvious to anyone.
It's obvious to me.
I'm well aware of your finer qualities. Believe me.
Of course you are. You're a discerning and intelligent woman, after all. Now, what was I talking about? Ah, yes, me. I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding and the repository of its hopes and dreams. Naturally, I despised it all. The lies, the scheming, the illusions of supremacy. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
I will tell you one thing. He likes the flirtation, so you need to flirt with him. I remember that now, because, yes, he's kind of that kind of guy. But I won't tell you anything else. Your family is angry with you.
Why would your family be upset with your choices?
Because I rejected their idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the magisterium. I declined the honor, and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way, you see.
You don't like Tevinter?
I'm getting the impression that you don't care much for your homeland.
On the contrary, I care for my homeland a great deal. There's so much potential. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because pretending is easier. We pretend the Qunari can be beaten. We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
But why do you care?
It just seems... So much of what you say about the Imperium is entirely negative.
It might sound that way. For all our faults, my people have many virtues. We are laden with history and culture. Tevinter is where Thedas truly began, remember? We treasure our past and preserve it. You can walk down a side street and find nothing built during the modern ages. And despite appearances, we care. Deeply. About everything. We have no reserve, not in war and not in love. If I truly believed my homeland was beyond all hope, I wouldn't miss it so much.
Careful breathing.
What did you mean by generations of careful breeding?
The great families of Tevinter don't have children. They refine traits, weed out the undesirable, and promote the rest. My mother was chosen for my father because magic runs strongly in her blood. Never mind that they loathed each other. They wanted a son who could become Archon to make House Parvis the envy of the Imperium. They got me. A cautionary tale that you should be careful what you wish for.
Why not go back?
Why remain with the Inquisition? Why not go back to Tevinter?
I'm not exactly welcome back home. Not that it matters, I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm. I can do more for Tevinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland back 1,000 years. I'm sure some Magisters would disagree, but that's why we kill them.
That's enough for now.
I think I've heard enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
Yeah. Tell me about the Imperium.
I'd like to ask you about Tevinter.
Ah, yes. Everyone outside the Imperium always seems quite fascinated by it. Probably why they come up with so many ridiculous tales. Flying cows over Minlathus. That's madness. All right, that one's actually true, but the cows didn't have wings. I digress. Anything in particular you wanted to know?
Investigate. Does mages truly rule there?
It seems strange that an entire empire would be ruled by mages.
I find it strange that your mages don't rule anything at all. Actually, the fiction in the Imperium is that mages don't rule. The Magisterium rules. That magisters are all mages is considered a convenient technicality.
The the magisterium.
What is the Magisterium, exactly?
The upper house of the Imperial Senate, and the only part worth having a seat on. Those seats are split among the circles of Magi, the Chantry, and the major families. All mages now. It's odd that outside the Imperium, you use Magister like it applies to every Tevinter mage.
What are you then?
If you're not a Magister, then what are you called? No special title?
I'm an Altus, which is almost as good as a Magister, depending on who you ask.
And a lotus is
I've never heard of an Altus.
artist.
Upper class. Those families who trace descent from the Dreamers, the first prophets of the old gods. If you're a mage and you're not Altus, then you're later, lower class. If you're not a mage at all, you're Soperati. That's everyone else. We do love our fancy words.
What about the Archon?
I thought the Archon ruled over the Imperium.
Well, yes. Technically, he can overrule laws passed by the Magisterium, but that never happens. Even so, he gets to appoint new Magisters, which means all the families vie madly for his favor. Thus, the Archon gets invited to all the parties. The truest path to Tevinter influence, let me tell you.
But mages do rule.
If it's a fiction, that means mages do rule then.
Yes and no. Let me put it this way. Mages do rule, but not all mages are equal. If you're not from the right family, chances are you don't rule anything. Maybe you're even a slave. The idea that anyone could be a mage, however, keeps the masses placated.
Is that true?
Can anyone be a mage?
Technically, the potential runs mostly in bloodlines, but it's been known to happen. More importantly, commoners believe it can. Tevinter legend is chock full of mage heroes from humble origins. So they hold out hope. Someday my son or my son's son will be a mage. Someday. Poor sods don't realize that means he'll be a quaestor at the arse end of the 100 Pillars, at best.
And is that bad? Actually, if the and I added that, is that bad?
Being a quaestor isn't a good thing.
I imagine the average non-mage likes to think so. Counting numbers and shuffling papers all day is better than many occupations after all. If you're a second-class citizen among a pack of piranha, however, your outlook changes.
I want to ask you something else.
Let me ask you something else.
Of course.
Imperium has a chantry.
There's an Imperial Chantry, isn't there? With its own divine.
You people aren't supposed to talk about the Black Divine, are you? If you mention him outside the Imperium, people make that face, like you're urinating in public. But yes, we do have the Chantry, or a version of it. Night and day comparing it to yours.
Investigate. Is it really that different?
Is the Imperial Chantry so different from ours?
Not in theory. The main difference is in the whole magic is meant to serve man, not rule over him business. Back home, ruling the unwashed masses is serving them, for the good of the Imperium. Perhaps it started with good intentions, but these days it's academic. The circles are in command.
You have circles.
There are circles of magi in the Imperium.
We don't have dismal little mage prisons, if that's what you mean. They're academies, prestigious ones. We have Templars as well, but they don't cancel spells or whatever your Templars do. They're soldiers. They watch for abuse of magic, yes, but only those who are weak or who fall out of favor get dealt with. Mostly they enforce their magisterium's edicts. The Chantry smiles and nods from the sidelines.
The Black Divine?
Do you really call him the Black Divine?
We don't call him that, oh no. In the Imperium, he's the true divine. The woman sitting on the Sunburst throne is some backwater pretender. It all stems from a disagreement over Andraste. Marvelous, isn't it?
A disagreement?
Why would they disagree over Andraste?
It's not my field of expertise, but the Imperium believes Andraste was a mortal woman, a mage. Down south they say, no, she's the bride of the Maker, ascended to his side, divine provenance, a blah blah blah. We feel better believing Andraste was one of us. Makes executing her less damning, you see. So we elected a man as divine, the South declared war, and we've been feuding cousins ever since.
Your divine is male.
So, the Imperial Divine is always a man?
All the better to distinguish him from that other one, yes. Don't think there aren't a number of female magisters who bristle at that. Why can't they be divine after all? Same reason you never see a man on the Sunburst throne. Because that's how it's always been done. Excellent reasoning.
Are you religious?
Do you consider yourself Andrastian?
The big question. It might surprise you that I do consider myself Andrastian. I simply do not believe in the Chantry. It is a relic, whether back home or here in the south. Something from a bygone age desperately clinging to relevance. It's not an opinion that makes me popular.
I agree with you.
I share your opinion, actually.
That's not surprising, considering what the Inquisition represents. I'll say this. I may not believe in the Chantry, but I believe in you.
In me?
That the Maker sent you, whether through Andraste or fate. Cassandra is not wrong. You are what we needed most at the moment we needed it. That's what they will say in ages to come.
I'm surprised you think that.
You don't seem like the religious sort, to be honest.
If you define religious as sitting in a chantry and listening to a blithering hen tell you how to live, then no. If you define it as believing in the possibility that something larger than yourself exists, then yes, by all means. The world is bigger than I, even bigger than you. It laughs at all the things we think we know. The Maker doesn't need me to believe, but I do. The thought of no one at all watching out for us is too frightening.
I want to ask something else.
Let me ask you something else.
So many questions.
Yes. Cultivate to be an ally.
I'm wondering if the Imperium would be a useful ally.
I'd think you'd be more concerned whether or not they'd support the Venatori. They won't, of course. At least, not officially. They'll disavow all knowledge of dangerous cultists. Secretly, many Magisters will rejoice at the idea. And if the South falls to chaos in the meantime, all the better.
Is that oh, sorry. Is that smart of them?
It would be in the Imperium's best interest to help. Surely it could use allies.
I think the Imperium gave up on the idea of allies a long time ago. We've been fighting the Qunari for what, 200 years off and on? It's a point of pride that we go it alone. They'll sneer at the South behind their silk handkerchiefs and say, "You've had it easy for far too long." Let's not forget that the Inquisition seems to be an arm of the Orlesian Chantry. Anathema so far as they're concerned.
But we're not.
We're not part of the Chantry. The Chantry opposed the Inquisition's formation.
You think that matters? Don't be silly. The Herald of Andraste. Your very title smacks of the Southern Chantry. You may as well be a heathen. I think they're far more frightened what you'll do if you succeed.
Is blood magic common?
Just how often is blood magic used there?
Oh, not at all.
Not at all.
That's what any Magister would tell you. They'd be convincingly offended by the notion too. Of course, what people call blood magic here and what we consider blood magic are two different things.
What do you call it?
What's considered actual blood magic in Tevinter?
Blood magic isn't inherently dangerous. Using your own blood or that of a willing participant, what's the harm? The problem is that what's permitted only gets you so much power. And what if you need more? You always need more. That's where we get into sacrifices and demon summoning. None of that is done. Not officially. Behind closed doors, it's a different story. Real blood magic can give you an edge, a leg up against your opponents. It's safe to assume that any mage of rank does it. The rest are quietly shut out of power, to put it bluntly.
Nothing by intervention.
You'd think the Templars would object.
I imagine they did, long ago. Once, their investigations might have been sincere. Then their balls were cut off. Too inconvenient. Nowadays, only the friendless are accused. Most of them probably innocent.
No one disagrees.
There must be some mages who oppose this.
Of course. I do. And I'm not entirely alone. Occasionally, there'll be a Magister who makes noise. And then the reform talk begins. All very patriotic. Meanwhile, that Magister will be quietly shunned. Chances are, surprise, it's learned he was a Maleficar all along. Most learn to keep quiet. Me? I enjoy the allure of pariahhood.
What about slavery?
Anyone who talks about the Imperium mentions slavery. It's the center of the slave trade.
Ah. That is true.
And did you have slaves?
Not personally, but my family does and treats them well. Honestly, I never thought much about it until I came south. Back home, it's how it is. Slaves are everywhere. You don't question it. I'm not even certain many slaves do.
You're saying they like it?
You think slaves like it that way? Don't be ridiculous.
I didn't say they like it. It's all most of them know. In the south, you have alienages, slums, both human and elven. The desperate have no way out. Back home, a poor man can sell himself. As a slave, he could have a position of respect, comfort, and could even support a family. Some slaves are treated poorly, it's true. But do you honestly think inescapable poverty is better?
At least if suppose not.
I suppose not. No.
I don't know what it's like to be a slave, true. I never thought about it until I saw how different it was here. But I suspect you don't know either. Nor should you believe that every tale of Tevinter excess is the norm.
That's all. That's it.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
Have you seen Alexius?
Have you gone to see Alexius yet? He's in the cells.
Not yet, no. I saw him before they locked him up. He looked despondent, broken. Not the man I remember, nor the one I want to. I suppose the Inquisition will judge him eventually. I wonder if there's any chance they'll show him mercy. He hardly deserves it, but for Felix's sake. I can't help hoping there's something left of the man I once knew.
Thank you, Dorian, for all the information you gave us. So many codices.
Did you know we're actually related, Inquisitor?
Related?
Oh, not first cousins or anything like that. Can you imagine? You're a Trevelyan, however, and somewhere in the dank nethers of my family tree, there was also a Trevelyan. Perhaps he was even the one who ventured to Ostwick to establish the branch. We are talking long ago, of course.
How do you even know that?
You know that off the top of your head?
Not the top. Maybe the lower middle or thereabouts. Bloodlines are serious business in Tevinter. You're taught lessons and tested by strict nannies. I heard your family mentioned, and I had to go through all the old mnemonics, but yes, there it is. I knew there was a reason we looked so much alike.
Can we still flirt?
I'd rather we weren't related. That might make flirting awkward.
Depends on which branch of the family you come from. Regardless, I think we're still good to go. By at least 3 ages.
That's enough.
I should go.
Try not to die. I would notice you were gone. What's on your mind?
Listen.
I should go.
Naturally.
Okay. I know there's a lot of stuck with two people. I think I'll move.
The mages seem
Liliana? Come on, Liliana.
Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
No kidding. Always looking to gain. Yeah.
You're always looking for some way to benefit, aren't you?
It's what I'm here for. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
I'll watch you die for me.
In Redcliffe, you sacrificed yourself so that I could return here.
Of course I did. One small life in exchange for a second chance at history. I always loved a bargain.
It was still noble.
It was still a sacrifice, and still noble.
And I would do it again.
Any updates?
Anything I should know?
Altegan has returned to Redcliffe Castle and resumed his duties as Lord. The people are returning, slowly but surely. Unfortunately, our show of support for the mages has angered many.
Another one?
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
Carry on.
I'll leave you to your work.
Thank you, Liliana.
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule him. Foul and corrupt.
Really?
If Fiona and her malcontents are joining us as allies, we need to be prepared. Abominations are inevitable. Cullen doesn't have enough Templars to handle incidents. Some of the rank and file need to be trained.
We can control the mages. Okay, good idea.
The last thing we need are abominations running amok.
I knew you would have a proper grasp of the situation. I'll have a word with Cullen. We are reliant on his people, absolutely. There has never been a greater threat to mages than the breach. Until it is closed, no one is safe.
You don't trust mages.
You have a low opinion of your fellow mages.
It's not so much an opinion as grasping the obvious. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
That's just Chantry rhetoric. Since it doesn't think so. Temple's Island Dissolution. If I choose this one, she will disagree. If I choose this, I have no idea how she will gonna react. I don't know this either. Let's agree with her.
You're preaching to the choir, Vivian.
Tell me something. You told me that you'd see the Chantry restored. What about the circle?
I need to circle back.
The circle has to be restored if we want to keep the peace.
That's comforting to hear, but you'll find opposition to the idea even among friends. It's something to consider, my dear. Do you need something, my dear?
Investigate. No, back. Never mind. Okay. Something that you need to
The
do.
Inquisition appreciates your assistance in this matter, Lady Corbin.
I will talk to you later. There's a prisoner here. It seems. What is it? Oh. How can I open it? Oh. Barrick, I need you here. It's supposed to be a prisoner. What is it? I don't see any prisoner. Oh. I wanted to talk to the prisoner.
The Inquisition appreciates your assistance in this matter, Lady Corbin.
And my miners appreciate your business. You'll have your lyrium by the end of the week. I should tell you, Ambassador, the Chantry raised some fuss when they learned about our arrangement.
The Inquisition must certainly seem an audacious idea to the Grand Clerics. We hope to convince them it is a necessary one as well.
Let me just save this thing.
I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who is she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's mages. According to Lady Corbin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
How?
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than anticipated. We're becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power instead of comforting the masses.
The chance is incompetent. It's needed more than ever. It's been this way for years.
Mage circles started falling years ago. The Chantry was troubled even before the Divine's murder.
Yet many people continue to bear it great love. We will not benefit from its decline. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nivara, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has the Chantry truly promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
You make it sound easy. I can see the importance.
I suppose a shared faith can be useful when talking with strangers.
Precisely. And these similar interests are merely where we begin. We must learn to think beyond our own wants to secure peace in Thedas.
This sounds good. Yeah. That's an ambitious notion.
Planning to steer the history of the world, Ambassador Montillier.
I believe the Inquisition is already charting that course. Which brings me to a question, if you have a moment. The remaining Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
I don't claim to be holy. How will you?
Will my answer change your reply to the Chantry?
If Leliana, Cassandra Cullen, and I could agree on our official stance, I could answer that. We should decide soon. The revered mothers don't seem to know what to make of you.
That's private. I don't know. I don't claim to be holy.
I'd tell the Chantry I was saved by circumstance, not divine intervention.
Yet as rumors your Andraste's herald grow, the Grand Clerics may not believe such a humble reply. A difficult situation, and I thank you for your answer. A good day to you.
She will say whatever.
Greetings.
Nothing to report.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Goodbye.
Let's speak later.
Farewell. If you find anything, please bring it in.
Well. I really wanted to go somewhere first before doing this. I will leave this for the next video actually, but there are some things that are highlighted here that I won't read it. I will just use the one that is getting faster.
At your service.
To be fairly honest, that's what I do. I don't even read. Liberty or lay. Huh. Okay, Lydiana.
Let's see what we have.
And well, there's two here. Available. Commander Cullen. Blah 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 blah. Oh, let's go.
All right.
If they asked for Cullen, then Cullen should go. Prince Sebastian Vale. Vale. Who is busy? Probably is okay. Before that, actually, I want to go back to see something. We need to go to the war map, Hinterlands, view, and I want to drop it here. See, these cards change a lot. Change a lot. There are different colors, different things, different themes with each thing that you do with them. Every single time that they agree or they disagree, they will change that. Not when it's slightly changed, it's when it's greatly changed. And there's sometimes, because some choices, they will no go, they will just show you because of those cards changed. What was that? What was that? Let me check if there is something. See if Kana was still there.
Good day.
Oh. The protection of the Inquisition. Okay. Oh, this changed. I thought it would. Okay, so maybe I can grab something. It's changed. Why? Okay, you come here, darling. Open that for us. This thing changed.
Good day.
Every ocularum is made from the skull of a tranquil?
I figured they'd fled with the rebel mages. Poor bastards.
I had wondered where they had gone. I should have looked harder.
Good day.
Let's see if I can get.
Good use of it. Thank you.
I want to go that way. Hmm. This kind of not. Not helping. Nope, it's not here. I don't know why. I cannot. Was stuck. Nope. Okay, whatever. I've been trying to get that stuff. This is too. Oh, I need to go to the Chantry, so maybe there is something new there. Maybe we can meet Tigan, maybe? Maybe not. Nope. They still couldn't move that. Oh, I'm disappointed. Oh, there are people now. A little bit refreshing. Would have been great. Would have been amazing. We talked to everyone. That's something nice. There are people that will oppose us because we chose the mages, but it will be almost the same if we'd have chosen the Templars. So there is no very great difference. There is one more. We already met him, but we don't have him now because I chose the mages. But there will be one more that is Cole. So Cole is the last one of the people we need. They will come afterwards. Dorian the same. So it's not like you have one or you have the other one. You have both, but they come in a different moment. Can you move, man? No, I don't want to listen to the song. Get out of here. Get out. Please. Well, I will leave this game here. Next video, we will start going from the war room directly. So I'm going to go there. Before going to the war room, we will level up the characters, I think. So yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.